Good morning, gang. Good morning. Welcome to this week's Bitcoin update. First and foremost, remember nothing discussed today is financial advice. This is just purely for educational purposes only. And now that's out of the way, let's jump in to the Bitcoin chart. So a few people are waking up a little bit upset this morning because we've had a red candle, and it's likely stopped a lot of people out that were caught off guard by yesterday's move. And for the rest of us, we're quite happy because we're locking in some profits. So what we're going to do, like usual, we're going to talk through the trades that we've taken over the past week, so you guys can learn from that and understand how we trade in the group. And also then we're going to discuss what I'm looking for next. Okay, so first things first, we're actually going to start things a little bit differently because we're actually going to start from 2 weeks ago on Tuesday. And specifically, we're going to talk about this move here. Okay. So this move here, what had happened is we'd had the drop, we'd had a range, we had a swing failure pattern, and then we had the move up afterwards. Now, what happened down here was very important. And the reason why I say it's very important is because what we had here is we had a front run of the macro range low. Okay, now if you guys are wondering what the macro range low is, then you've clearly not been paying attention to our videos for the past however many months. But what we had here, we can see here, we actually front run this level. Okay. Now, every man and his dog was looking for that level. Now, we've discussed this quite a few times on stream for the public and also in the members. What happens when everyone's looking for the same level? Likely, we'll either front run it or we'll go straight through it. Okay. In this instance, we're front run it. Okay. So here's a little clip from the Tuesday. As we were getting this move up, I was doing my members live stream where we're planning out our trades for the week. Okay, so we do the high time frame and the low time frame trades for the week, and this is what I was discussing on that stream. Here's a little snippet from that stream. Right. So every man and his dog wanted this perfect retest. Okay, now we say this time and time again. What happens when all eyes are on one level? Okay, it'll either front run it or it'll blast straight through it. Now, what's happened right here is we've front run that level. So something that I'm very conscious of right now is, and again, I can't really look at it because we're streaming, is how many of these people here FOMO chasing this now, thinking that they've missed that perfect retest. All those people sharing heat maps all over Twitter, all over YouTube, people sharing these heat maps, and these heat maps were showing quite clearly that there were fuckloads of limit orders there. Fuckloads. I think they were at 25, 24, and 23 from memory from the last one that I saw. Okay. So now what would be interesting in my eyes is if people start FOMOing in here, okay, and then this likes the liquidity and then smashes through. Okay. This is something that I'm very aware of right now. Now, whether this goes a little bit higher or it doesn't, but this would be quite interesting if this does happen. Okay. As you can see there, this is what we're discussing. You know, and this is how my brain works quite a lot of the time when it comes to trading is what's going to catch most people offside, what's going to collect liquidity. Okay. So this is what we're talking about. So we have the front run. You did have a trade set up here because we had a little swing failure pattern of the low, came back up, retested the range low, and then you had a pump up there. So we did have a long trigger in this. Absolutely fine. But as I said in that stream, I was looking for a reason to get short on this move. Okay. Because we'd front run this level, everyone was waiting for it. Everyone then FOMO'd in, thinking that they've missed this perfect retest that everyone's been waiting for. And again, it's been in play for a long, long time. We've been discussing it on the channel. You know, I've been saying on the channel publicly to you guys quite often that I wasn't interested in this level as a set level. I was more interested in this volume cluster underneath. Okay. And what's happened? We're into that volume cluster underneath. Okay. So from that stream, we ended up getting a nice shot out of it. Okay. Now, again, once again, I'm not going to sit here and laugh that this is a perfect 10.5 hour trade, because it's not, because I took profits along the way. But either way, it's a damn good trade, money locked in, and there we go. We're happy. Okay. So that was following on. This is from 2 weeks ago, is this. And what I was targeting for these lows to be swept into this cluster here. Okay. If we had got the perfect retest on this, I'd have held my hands up and go, I was wrong with the idea. Absolutely fine. I'd have then waited for a market structure change and got involved. But my bias was still to lean down. Okay. So that was from a couple of weeks ago. Now let's fast forward to this weekend just passed. So this weekend just passed. We had pretty much the exact same setup as we did last weekend. I'm warning the guys that we've got a lot of news events this week, which we have had, and we've still got a few more to come. Okay. Now, I'm pointing out about the SFP of the lows. I'm talking about this low here. So this low here on Bybit did take out these lows, but on Coinbase, for spot, it didn't take out the lows. So again, my bias is still saying that likelihood is we're going to have a sweep of these lows at least. Okay. So to the upside, we could see a sweep of the weekend highs similar to last weekend. And what did we have in the end? We had the exact same setup as we did last weekend. Okay. So personally, I didn't catch this, but I know the guys in the group did. And in the end, it came down into the golden pocket. Got a nice 4-hour trade out of that. Happy days. Great. You got to be happy with the 4-hour trade because there's an awesome trade. You only need a few of them a week and you're golden. Okay. This for me was also a long opportunity, which I did take this trade, but this wasn't one that I'd given in the group. So I'm not going to run through that itself. But we did have a long opportunity here. So obviously that was Sunday night. Now, Monday, I wasn't around. I was at the hospital again. But coming into Tuesday, so Tuesday's plans that we knew that we had the not FOMC event. We had, was it CPI or was it PPI? Can't remember what it was on the Tuesday. But I was saying no major update from yesterday's plans as price remains sideways. I'm talking about this sideways action here. All levels in play that I've been talking about the previous day. And we should see some volatility into the market around 130. Now, again, this is not crystal ball stuff. This is just 130 because this is the news event, okay? So to the upside, the only region that I was interested in trading to the upside was this region here, okay? This region here, looking for shorts. So I'm saying the weekly naked point of control and the previous range lows, which is obviously that top range there. Okay, so this is with the zone. Now, zooming into a lower time frame, we could see that price was struggling to get even this high, which was a reason to take profit on the longs that I was discussing just a minute ago. Take profit on those longs and then hit the red button looking for a short. And again, same idea as the short up here. I'm looking for the lows to be swept. In the end, we got the sweep. We've actually come into some naked point of controls down here. So in the end, 7-hour trade. Once again, it's not fully 7-hour because you've taken profits along the way because you're not a degenerate, but a lovely trade in the end. Okay, so that's Tuesday. Now, yesterday, FOMC. Obviously, it's normally when people get destroyed. We actually didn't see during the news event much volatility at all. We had a slight spike up, we had a slight spike down, and that was about it. It was actually a fairly uneventful news event, okay, until afterwards is then when we puked through at the night time for me, okay? So for me, the only interest I had here was either coming into taking out this high into that previous range low or taking out the weekend lows, okay? Which again, taking out these lows, coming in to our area of interest down here, okay? That was the only thing that I was looking for. And in the end, didn't get that. So there was no trade. So all I did was hang on to my trades, to my short trades, and wait for lower, okay? So this is how you can trade the market and trade it along with me if you like, okay? You know, if you want to learn how to do this and you want these real-time updates and me discussing what I'm looking at, then head over to our website, okay? So within our website, you've got access to over 100 hours of educational content from absolute beginners, okay, through to more advanced stuff like the footprint charts, the order flow, understanding what's happening within the candles, okay? How to manage your trades, Elliott Wave, trading psychology, altcoin strategies. You know, we've started our strategies modules now where I'm starting to give out some of my personal strategies, okay? Got loads. And then on top of that, you also then get access to the private Discord where you can share your ideas with the other members, okay? You get feedback on your ideas, learn along, and you also get access to my trading channel, okay? Where I talk about what I'm interested every single day, apart from Saturday. It's the only day that I don't come in, okay? Now, like some of the courses on the web, you know, some of them are 3, 4, 5 grand. You know, some of them will charge you a few £100 a month. No, because I think that trading should be for everyone, which is why the only cost for this is $59.95. Okay, that's Great British pounds. Okay, in dollar value, that's roughly around $75. Okay, so you can have all that for such a low price, and that's because I want everyone to have access to this education. Okay, so if you want to learn along, then come join us. Right, so that's that. Now, what are we looking at next? Let's hide this. Let's go back to this. Right. Bring up this one. No, not that one. Let's try this one again. So once again, what am I interested in here? Okay. I am interested in this zone that we're in right now. Okay. But I'm in no rush. I'm in no rush. Okay. So this is a bit of a zone, is this? As I said, we have come down. We've come into 2 naked point of controls that are down there. So they've both been hit now. So they're removed from our chart. And now I'm waiting patiently. Okay. We could either take another stab of the low, then come back up, change market structure, get outside of this range, and then we can look for longs. Okay. We want to see that strength. I want to see that strength. Okay. If we get that, then we're playing it up. Do we get acceptance back into the old range? No. Okay. Well, we short that back down, and we just trade this as a standalone range in between. Okay. Do we get acceptance back into it? Yes. Great. Okay. Well, in that case, then we started to change some higher time frame structure. Okay. So if we start doing that and continue up, then we can look towards the EQ, taking out these highs here. Do we get a short trigger there? Great. Cool. If not, take profit on longs or ride it back up to range highs. Okay. This is just a range. Just a range. Okay. Ignore all the patterns and all the triangles that everyone's been drawing in here. You don't need those. You just need 2 horizontal lines. Okay. Yes, you can make it more technical and you can use some of the other tools that we use. But from a high time frame perspective, you don't have to go so technical on this. It's fairly straightforward. Okay. What happens if this doesn't hold? Well, if this doesn't hold, this is a fairly thin move to refill. Okay. Yes, there are a couple of SR levels in between here, but it's a fairly thin move overall. Okay. What we can do, instead of drawing the profile across the whole range, we can draw it for this uptrend here. Okay. We can see that the bulk of the volume's up here. Now, if we zoom in a little bit, we can see we've got sticky area here, which is the area that I've been telling you guys for a long, long time. The sticky area here. If we lose this, then we've got another sticky area slightly lower down. And then below that, then we're coming back into this cluster here. Okay. If we get back into this cluster here, this will either hold or we could sweep the lows, reclaim back up. But again, looking for that sign of strength. You don't have to catch wicks. If this does start rolling over, don't try catching wicks. I've said this before on videos. You know, the only reason why you want to catch the absolute bottom is because you want to post a profit shot on Twitter with your 0.001 BTC account and say that you've caught the absolute bottom. But the reality is, chances are you've been wrecked all the way down. So you'd need at least a 20-hour trade just to try claw back some of those losses. Just wait patiently, wait for that sign of strength. I'm not rushing into anything here. There's no need. There's no need. I can get involved higher up if needs be, or I can wait and get involved lower down if needs be. Okay, that's the beauty of it. Okay, if we do start losing these lows, then we can start looking back down at the overall lows. And if we start to lose this back into this consolidation here, then it's a very likely option that we take out these lows. Okay, not saying it's a certain, because nothing's a certain, but the odds increase. Okay, so that's to the upside. Do we get back into this range? If we do, yes, cool, carry on trading that range. If we continue down here, then we're just carrying on trading this range, and we can trade it 1/2 at a time if you like. Depends on how you want to do it. Depends on what time frame you like trading on. Depends on your trading style. Okay, but that's what I'm watching right now. Okay, so as I say, if you guys want to learn along and you want access to my real-time updates, not signals, by the way, they're not signals. You can see from the way that I word things, they're not signals. I'm not telling you where to enter and exit your trades. I'm telling you what I'm doing. Okay, but the bulk of the members already have the same areas of interest marked out because they've studied the material. Okay, and that's all I want. Anyone that comes into our group, I want them to be hungry. I want them to learn how to trade. If you just want to come into the group and look for signals, don't bother joining. You know, go spend 500 quid a month on some crappy signal service. Okay, right, that'll do. Remember, don't get destroyed this week. Trade smart. As you were, guys. Bye-bye.